Let's start off with some of these headlines that just came across actually about Saudi Arabia really tightening and hardening its stance on Qatar, asking it to close down Al Jazeera there, cut ties with Iran. How does this end here?
Well, it probably doesn't end well. Betty, what we have here, though, are these three Gulf states, basically the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar. There's lots of backstory here, tribal stories, who stole whose sand dunes, a long time ago, and some very modern versions. The way I look at it is this way. Qatar was a real pioneer in that region. It opened Al Jazeera, the first really sort of modern TV station that showed something other than just two leaders talking to each other. They also opened the Gulf to education, to art, in some really cool ways. They were pioneers, but then they got off track. They got off track because they tried to project power into the region. They tried to be power brokers in places like Libya and Syria. 300,000 people with $300 billion can't be power brokers. And I think they got used by people. And the Qataris also fell into kind of dancing at every wedding, a little Iran, a little Hamas, a little, a little Israel, to their credit, opening ties there. And so I think they need to go back to that pioneering, country. But at the same time, I'm not comfortable with Saudi Arabia saying cut relations with Iran. I think it's important. Nothing has ruined the Middle East more, Betty, than the sectarian conflict between Shiites and Sunnis, Persians and Arabs. And if Qatar can provide a bridge for that, I think that's healthy. Saudi Arabia, again, I feel the same way, of two minds. Its new prince, new crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, I think has a lot of potential. He's much more.
In what way?
Well, he's much more McKinsey than Wahhabi. That he's really someone. He's a millennial. He's much more McKinsey than Wahhabi. He wants to open Saudi Arabia up. I think you'll see him letting women drive. And I think he can play a really positive role, so I think that's good. But Saudi Arabia has stuff to answer for, too. Saudi Arabia changed the face of Islam, and from Islam from Morocco to Indonesia by funding the most puritanical, obscurantist interpretation of Islam. So Saudi Arabia dictating to Qatar, I also have a little problem with that, too. These guys don't come with clean hands either. So mixed picture again. To me, the place I identify most with in the region has been Dubai. And the reason I like Dubai, what in the UAE is not a democracy. You can't write an op-ed piece attacking, the ruler of Dubai. Let's have no illusions about that. But Dubai created a place where young Arabs can be Arab and global at the same time. And it is a place where people can do art, they can do literature, they can express themselves, realize their potential in a lot of ways, and be Arab and global at the same time. And the region needs more of that. Dubai is the real anti-ISIS, not forcing another country to shut down its TV station.
And yet Saudi Arabia is so dominant, right?